Hello again, friends and family of Cartoon Universe. DEEPCUT here with what may be our last chance to talk about the new Steven Universe movie before it airs. Hailey and I will be doing a live stream on the day of release, but in the meantime, I thought I'd make a video to discuss something people have been asking for a while now. Why will there be no ads during the movie? Or rather, how will they make money without any ads during the movie? While most of us think of direct-to-DVD movies as cheap, they can actually be very lucrative for the creators, and there is no better way to advertise them than with a hype-filled one-night television event. This is particularly true for adult cartoon and children's entertainment, where Steven Universe tends to fall somewhere in the middle. Then, of course, there is the merchandise, particularly the soundtrack. You can already pre-order it digitally and physically, with the option for an actual vinyl record as well, which looks absolutely beautiful. What a lot of people don't know is that soundtracks used to be a particularly hot selling point for children's shows and other media. A lot of shows were made with soundtracks in mind, such as My Little Pony and Sonic Underground. Imported anime was often given a new focus on a soundtrack as well, with shows like Sailor Moon creating songs that were never even featured in the show or had anything to do with it just so they can add it to a CD. Some shows were known for requiring one unique song per episode, but some of them would include multiple songs in each episode, such as VeggieTales. Even Disney movies would focus on soundtracks for the sake of selling tapes and CDs to children afterward. This practice began to die out in the late 2000s. Perhaps the introduction of the digital age made it less likely for parents to actually invest money in a CD for their kids, especially since so many could get access to the music online for free. It never went away entirely, but it seemed to be less and less of an important part of marketing to children. Then, slowly, something began to change. Shows like Friendship is Magic and Adventure Time began to feature music here and there. It wasn't in every episode, but because of that, songs had a lot more of a punch to them. Creators weren't being forced to include the music for the most part, but rather were inspired by the musical numbers from shows they saw as a kid and wanted to include them in some way, even if to a lesser degree. Without being forced to churn out a new song every single week, artists were able to spend more time composing the music in between episodes and thinking of just how important they would be to the story. Music became a way to highlight just how dramatic a moment was, how integral it was to characters' development. That, perhaps, was what led Steven Universe's eventual soundtrack release to be even more popular than the shows that came before it. The first soundtrack was a top-selling hit on the billboards and went on to have very impressive vinyl record sales as well, surprising everyone, even Rebecca Sugar. The original soundtrack sold with music from seasons 1 through 4, which is over 100 episodes. That is a long time and a lot of money invested to make money back on a soundtrack. The movie, meanwhile, has the production length of only about 8 episodes, with almost exactly as many songs as the original soundtrack, so it's pretty easy to see that they are trying to replicate the success of the soundtrack sales with lower production costs. By adding in big names like Amy Mon and Chance the Rapper, they have a chance to make as much money as possible without investing nearly as much money themselves. Now, some of you may be asking, why not air commercials anyway? Why not make money on top of the soundtrack sales? And that is a good question. One thing that we knew about the movie pretty early on, though, was that it was meant to help bring in new viewers to the show. It was said that the story would be standalone, and that you wouldn't have needed to have seen the series beforehand in order to enjoy it. Steven Universe's viewership has been steadily declining over the years, and this event could help more people get into the show. By not having commercials, you entice the viewers not to click away. Even if a moment is kind of boring or doesn't really appeal to them, people tend to stay on a channel until a commercial airs. This will make it so more people sit through the entire movie and hopefully come to look forward to season 6. While it's obvious that commercials will return for future episodes of Steven Universe, the show has a lot more money to make by focusing on its soundtrack, art book, digital and physical releases, as well as just general hype for the series as a whole going forward. And removing the commercials for this movie is one way to ensure that. Well, that's all I've got for you guys today. I can't wait for the movie. I'm sure you guys can't either. I'm even having a little viewing party with some friends so we can all enjoy it together. Let me know in the comments down below what part of the trailers that you're most excited for, and I'll see you next time.